All right, we are live. We are live. And we are back. Welcome to another episode of the Overdue Bills podcast. And we're definitely excited today. Truly excited because man, we're really a few days away from like live action, like a real,
Mm-hmm.
preseason game. Definitely a few days away. So we're excited, a month away from really the season kicking off. And I have yours truly, our guy, Matty, aka Matty Ice, aka with the gray hoodie. Matt, what's up, man?
Not much, man. I'm ready for some live football action. Myself, I'll be in Vegas this weekend.
Oh man.
So yeah, my girl's turning 30, so she wanted to go out there. So I might put a wager down, on some friendly preseason football.
Spoken like a true degenerate. But shout out to
Uh-huh.
Matt. Shout out to the birthday girl, for sure. That 30 milestone is hitting everybody.
For sure.
You are muted, Rat. So but let the people know how you doing, Rat. All purpose, Rat. Y'all know the vibes.
I'm good, bro. I'm good, man. It's the last weekend of no football at all. Between college football and NFL football, it's just it's here, got here quick. So I'm
Mm-hmm.
happy to talk. I'm happy definitely talk about Bills. But yeah, I'm ready, man. What's good with you,
Abs-
bro? How are you?
I'm straight. I'm good. I'm good. Here, ready to pot for sure. And before we do that, Matt, can you please let the people know who is sponsoring this trusty show today?
Yes, sir. This show and every other show is brought to you by the good people at Buffalo Wing Kings. There's two things that the guys over here at the Overdue Bills podcast know. That's Bills football and that's wings. Our first choice and the best choice is Buffalo Wing Kings. Wing Kings hit them up for any parties, any gatherings you may have. Summertime is kind of wrapping up. We're getting in a fall football season, man. If you're getting together for that preseason game or you're going out to the stadium to tailgate, hit up Wing Kings. Stop down and see them at 484 Elmwood Avenue or give them a call at 716. Oh my God, 716-248-1427 and find out why they say. And we know they got the best wings in town, hands down. And make sure you tell them the Overdue Bills sent you. Get 10% off your order. And also hit them up on Uber Eats or DoorDash.
Absolutely. Shout out to Buffalo Wing Kings. Please hit them up. Matt is already in Las Vegas, so charge it to his head, not his heart. But let's do this real quickly. OverdueBillsPod.com, OverdueBillsPod.com. A little bit of housekeeping. Please go to the website, man. We got your merch needs. Listen, we got a sale still going on, right, Matt?
Yes, sir. So we got select items on sale, till they sell out. So definitely hit up that website and buy them out. Get your gear for the game this upcoming weekend. We'll get it to you.
Yeah, for sure.
Absolutely.
Definitely limited colors, limited sizes too. So definitely get on that site.
Absolutely, man. The sale is going crazy, man. Please get there, man. We got all your merch needs. You see, you know the vibes. You know the vibes. So shout out to Buffalo fan base as well. We ask you to like, share, rate, and review. Please hit that like button, man. That just, hit that algorithm, you know what I'm saying? So the video can keep coming. Pause. But y'all know how we do it. Quick question of the day. Quick question of the day. And it's a real quick question. I just want to ask y'all this. Is there a unwritten rule somewhere, bylaws, guidelines on asking for autographs, right? There's been a lot of debate going on about autographs, right? There's been a lot of debate. And so the question is, Matt, we're the Bills Mafia. We have a raucous fan base, for the practice, the blue and red game. Everybody was out there. It was 35,000 strong. It was an amazing vibe. Obviously, Josh Allen, we see it in the comments. He came out, with the red helmet. You know what I'm saying? It was just one of those type of vibes. It was a great vibe. But the question that came up was autographs. And is it a way you can ask? Is it like some steps? Should you wait for children? Like, how does that work in your eyes?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. In my personal opinion, I definitely think you gotta let the kids get their autographs and stuff first, man. It's just that's really what they're out for. I mean, they're out there for the fans, and there's people out there you can make money on, all kinds of memorabilia. Cards are back like crazy right now. Also, autographs are definitely a thing, but man, it's just being a grown up, seeing other grown ups like pushing kids out of the way or stealing footballs or cleats. That stuff is just crazy.
Oh, you never been to
So
Target when the
there has to be. There's definitely
new
some.
Pokemon cards drop. never been a target because that's what they be doing.
Just like a Black Friday shopper, man. It's crazy. Just don't disregard all human life, man, for that Josh Allen cleat, which is understandable with the value of it. But man, it's an unwritten rule that a lot of people don't follow.
If they got their hands on that Josh Allen helmet, man, it'd have been nuts. But to answer the comment question real quickly, it was I don't want to say it was necessarily a prank, but the word is the uniform change is definitely not going to be this year. If anything, it may be next year, but that red helmet is probably never ever coming. But Rad, to the autograph question, is there a policy on that?
I think it's fair game. I think kids. If you with your parent, your parent got to be like, yo, you know what I mean? Do the parent thing like, yo, let my kid get it. If you an adult and want to get an autograph from Josh Allen, try to get it. Who am I to hate on somebody?
You say that now.
What if you a kid? What if
your boy is going to get an autograph?
What if you a kid that never got the opportunity to even go to a? You know what I mean? So if you're trying to get it off, you're trying to get it off. So I'm not. I understand. I would hope most people are gonna let the kids do it, but there's some people out there who want to get they joint signed. I ain't mad at them. I'm just gonna try to make sure my kid get a joint signed too. Yeah. I respect it.
Yeah,
I mean they invested a lot. I mean, season tickets. Hey. You going to preseason games. You going to practices.
They bought every edition of Josh Allen jersey. They got all his jerseys. They got what I mean. They got his jersey from college. They really like him. I mean, hey.
It's that
but I mean, in that forum though, I mean, there's there's companies that do signings and stuff all throughout the year. If you really want to get something signed, you can go to
not like that though. That's intimate though. That's intimate.
$25. Yeah, you know what I mean. And then you go into training camp. The kids are there for that. But that's my opinion. You got yours. It's all good.
Absolutely. Shout out to everybody who's trying to get autographs. Shout out to the players who gives them, you know what I'm saying? Shout out to y'all who take that time in doing it. I will say, when people say it's not a part of the job, I disagree with that wholeheartedly. It is a part of the job. You're getting paid millions of dollars. You can do autographs. That's somewhere along in it. Just like talking to the media, it's a part of the job. People say, "Oh, I don't have." No, you actually do have to do it contractually. So I mean, autographs.
I don't think it's contractually.
They should throw that in there. No. I think it is because they get so much money for a lot of this stuff too. Because they do sell these things.
No, that's only if they do like a private thing, though. You know what I mean? They'll get paid per like autograph,
per item,
whatever piece. Yeah.
Shout out to the collective bargaining agreement. But let's do this, man. Let's go to this real quickly because it was a lot of talk about this. Players recruiting other players, right? And the specific example is obviously Von Miller, who comes to the Bills and he's recruiting OBJ relentlessly, right? Things going up on Instagram, conversations going back and forth so the public can see. So the question to you, Matt, is how do you feel about player recruiting? And I mean, we talked about OBJ last week. We understand that obviously he'll be a great addition to the team, but how do you feel about this whole thing playing out? Matt.
So yeah, I mean, I know we talked about it last week. He's a really a luxury pick, and I saw a good scenario too. Like if we signed him and just let him heal, you know what I mean, and debuted him, around November time or something like that, or whenever he's back, it wouldn't be like the worst thing to add him to the roster, just that, and have him not dress at every week, kind of like we could kind of keep him in the cut. But that's I don't think anybody would truly be against bringing him in, but it's not like I'm chasing after him at this point,
So, how do you feel about Von Miller recruiting him? Is that something does that feel exciting to you?
I don't know, right? Because when I saw it, I thought, it's cool, right? It's cool. I'm not against it, especially if we want them as a fan and stuff like that. But I don't know how that plays in the locker room. Do you think that plays? Is the people in the locker room cool? Because like if you add in one, like what's wrong with the wide receivers here? Like why are you trying to add another receiver? So I don't know how that plays in the locker room. I don't think it's a big issue. I think most people will probably welcome another good player to the team. I would think, but I think. I understand how he's doing. I understand what he's doing. I understand, he's doing a favor for OBJ. I think OBJ pretty much trying to get himself to Buffalo essentially. And I respect it. It's his man. So I have no issue with it, but I do wonder how it plays in the locker room. And just the wide receivers, like, why are you trying to get another receiver here? Like, that's what I do try to,
because it's better.
I mean, he's better than who? The people that's there.
Well, by just the metrics, meaning that what we've seen from what he's done and what we've seen from their career, he's 1,000 times better than every receiver besides Stephon Diggs we have on our team. That's a fact. It's a legitimate fact.
I hear you, but in the wide receiver room, I don't think.
Yeah, I think winning solves all. If there is issues, like if we come out winning, I don't think it would be an issue. If we come out losing, then it might be an issue. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Because then it's like, okay, maybe we. No, I'm just saying
that's the issue. That's always the case.
No, but that's my point.
Regardless.
So if we win, I mean, winning solves. Meaning, like at the rims, they had receivers. I mean, it was like it's the same thing. Just any other team.
Robert Woods was having a terrible year, and it was halfway through.
Robert Woods was not having a terrible year. That's not true. That's not true at all. Robert Woods was not having a terrible year. But
Robert Woods was having a bad fantasy football year in the first 6 games, 7 games.
He wasn't. He was a top 15 wide receiver
in the first 6, 7 games last year. You remember Robert Woods, bro? Yes, it was. What?
Regardless. That's in the weeds. And he wasn't necessarily having a bad year. Van Jefferson was, but besides the point, that's what any championship team adding somebody you can like. Rousseau and Boogie Basham, like, oh my God, why did y'all add Von Miller? Like that, we were fine. Like, so that's football. That's like you live and you learn. I like it because I can't say we've never had, but in recent history, I've never seen it like this on this scale. Right? The fact that we have a top player in Von Miller who can recruit, that's what you pay him for. Like that you want him to get the best players on the team. Like that's why we're here. I don't care about the locker room feelings. I don't care about wide receiver feelings. Too bad. Get better. Do better. That's just, I mean,
do you feel like we need to upgrade the wide receiver room?
We can, if you are a better player than, if Odell Beckham Jr. can get back to where he was at in the Super Bowl, he is better than Gabe Davis. That's a fact. Like there's no other, it's yes, absolutely. I can upgrade to him, and for sure. But that's just how. Thank you. Thank you, Josh. I'm glad Josh is back. Josh was going for a minute. Woods was balling. I don't know what Rad is talking about. He tore his ACL. That's the only reason why. So shout out to everybody in the comments.
He wasn't. He didn't score a touchdown to like week 6 or something like that.
But he was getting yards. He was getting yards. But shout out to everybody in the comments. The question was about Von Miller recruiting OBJ, and for me, I appreciate it. So I guess we have 2 nays and 1 yay. Is that what it is?
I wouldn't necessarily call it a nay. Yeah, it's just
I'm not in the middle about it. I'm just worried about how it plays in the locker room. I don't know.
Yeah, I'd rather see Von Miller go recruit somebody like a Bobby Wagner or something like that at this point of what we really need. And I don't think the receiver room is like a glaring need right now. You know,
I mean, we say I understand that we say that, but it's only been like a scrimmage. Like I think sometimes we kind of overrate a lot of things, and I think that we are going to be good, but it's OBJ is fine. I like OBJ, and I think that he will be a great addition to the team. That's my point. So, but with that being said, we're gonna get into the scrimmage. We're gonna hear some takeaways from the scrimmage and how y'all feel about the scrimmage and what happened, certain things that y'all heard, certain things that y'all saw. Maybe you were there. But before we do that, I do want to, I think every show, I want to do a health report on our team. And for me, y'all know I was ragging on the offensive line. I was very scared because Bobby Hart was out there, Tommy Doyle, and that was just bad for business. But Roger Saffold, he's been activated. Bates is back. And I think Spencer Brown is doing team drills. So things are definitely on the up and up with our offensive line. But with that being said, I want to go to Matt first. Matt, let's talk about the blue versus red. Let's give me 2 takeaways from that experience, from that scrimmage. And if you're in the comments, if y'all can give me some takeaways of how y'all feel about the team moving forward. But Matt, give me 2 takeaways that you've seen that either makes you feel good or it doesn't necessarily make you feel good.
Well, I didn't go there. I wasn't there this weekend, but from what the clips that I saw and just reading about it is I'm happy that Greg Rousseau is kind of jumping out at people, and I We talked about it last week with the all the additions on the defensive line with Ed Oliver and his contract year. This is a year where Greg Rousseau really doesn't have pressure on him, and he has an opportunity to really ball out. And I'm happy that his name is out there. Man, he's making plays early. So let's continue to roll it into the season. I'm excited to see how they look against other people this weekend to kind of really lay it all out.
Okay, so Greg Rousseau is one. Do you have another one?
And then, Gabe Davis, he made like a 40-yard catch, and the dude is he's very dependable. He is he is the Robert Woods, I guess I would say, of that offense. He can do a little bit of everything. He's not he doesn't demand the ball, but he makes plays when he gets the ball. You know what I mean?
For sure. Rad, blue versus red scrimmage. Give me 2 observations coming out. Like, how do you feel?
Well, I got more than 2. I'm about to run.
Okay, so is it up or down? What's up?
I was there. It was up, mostly up. I was there.
Shout out to Rad being there.
I was there at the scrimmage. Shout out to Mills Money. We was there at the scrimmage, 3rd row. Shout out, what I mean? We got close. Bum rush some kids. We was some people that bum rush some kids. We was Money try to get us a football. They was throwing footballs. Money try, it's all good. But I was there. So my takeaways from the scrimmage. Number 1, I'm happy we getting a new stadium. I'm kind of happy. It's getting a little old. I'm happy we getting a new stadium. Okay. You know what I mean?
Okay. All right.
We are gonna be a good team eventually. We're gonna need a new stadium soon. So I'm happy about that. That's okay. Number 2, I'm happy Case Keenum's our backup. I say that.
Yeah,
I'm happy Case Keenum's our backup. When he in the scrimmage, it was quick. You know what I mean? He knew what he was doing. It was quick. Boom, boom, boom. I'm happy. If Josh go down, I'm happy we got somebody.
Oh my God.
Offense going.
Okay.
I'm happy Case Keenum's our backup. I'm cool with that. Matt Barkley, that's a different case, but I'm happy Case Keenum. Number 3, I got James Cook will be on the field.
Okay.
A lot. He's going to play. He's a difference maker. Singletary looked good. I'm not saying Singletary, nothing bad about Singletary, but James Cook is going to play a lot. You got to have him on the field. He's explosive, somebody who can break it from 5-yard catch, who can break it. And he's like, you got to have him on the field in those big moments and those he's going to play. My next one was Gabe Davis is going to catch a lot of footballs. He's going to be open. He's open. Anytime Josh look his way, he's open and he catch the ball. He can catch and he's going to be open. If he gets one-on-ones, he's going to win a lot of his matchups and he's always open. Like anytime Josh looks at Gabe Davis, he's open and he catches the ball. It's that simple. He's going to catch a lot of balls. Shakur is good. I like Shakur. That's the rookie I like. Shakur is good. I think Crowder is playing with the 2s and the 3s and like he probably getting back right. But I think Shakur is good. I know we like McKenzie. I know McKenzie's going to be great. I'm not trying to hate on McKenzie, but it's a difference between somebody like Shakur, who I think just got like the football, just know how to, I don't know, just when you watch him, you see like
intangibles.
He got it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like McKenzie still for me somewhat be looking like a fast guy trying to play football sometimes, if that makes sense. Shakur got it. He reminds me of like he wearing number 10. He reminds me of Robert Woods. He just got it. And OJ Howard's big for no reason. That's one. These my last 2. My last 2 ones. OJ Howard just looks big out there for no. He's like huge. Number 8. He's out there and he just, I don't know what he do out there. He's just big for no reason. From what I saw, he's just out there. He the biggest person you see. And the reason he didn't look too. Sam Preach man's the reason didn't look too great.
He didn't.
The couple punts looked
bad.
He looked a boo-boo. I'm happy he holding kids because he might be on the, you know what I'm saying? Ariza looked a boo-boo, but that's the takeaways I got so far. But I think most of them up, only 2 somewhat down, but most of them have been up. But I like the rookies. I like the 2 rookies. I like James Cook. I like Shakur. Them guys, they gonna play. I think James Cook gonna play early and often. Shakur might have to find his way because of McKenzie and maybe Crowder, but once he do play, he's gonna make plays.
Yeah.
We're talking about takeaways from the scrimmage, blue versus red scrimmage, and in a second we're going to get into the depth chart. The Bills released their depth chart. We're about to get into it, but I do want to say this about the scrimmage. I have to talk about Josh Allen from this standpoint. Josh Allen, him coming out with the red helmet, he gets it. He understands his, like he gets the idea. He's our franchise quarterback, right? And he's embracing that. And quiet as it's kept, like we want that because we take pride in the Buffalo Bills. We all take pride, and seeing a quarterback that's taking pride in the city especially what all the football players did. Unfortunately, when the Buffalo 10 happened, very tragic situation, but them coming out there, just like the whole camaraderie of it all, it's like we're seeing something special come together. And even from that scrimmage, it was just like you could just feel the aura, right? You know what I'm saying? It's just kind of oozing out of the team. And I will say this: somebody had to comment. I'm not sure it was, maybe Ant Nelson. We're gonna talk about in a second. I don't want to engage in hyperbole, but our secondary is shaky, y'all. Like it's our corners. Like shout out to Kyrie Irving. I know he's a rookie, but I don't know. I don't know. It was kind of shaky, man. It was just kind of shaky. And having Dane Jackson out there, we're praying that T. White comes back healthy. We obviously know we have good safeties. You know what I'm saying? I'm not necessarily worried about them. Hopefully, our front seven can create enough pressure in order for that not to necessarily be an issue. But just coming from the scrimmage, my take on my observation is the secondary is definitely something to look at. It's not necessarily the great. It might, unfortunately, our corners might be the worst part of our team. Unfortunately, let's call a spade. But I
don't know. I think yes, right. If you talk about the scrimmage, I already think our wide receiver room. This goes to my whole not really loving the OBJ talk as of right now, because I think our wide receiver room is really good.
But they're not playing against anybody, right?
I'm just saying, but you're dissing our secondary, and
they played against people all last season though, and they balled. It's not like
I'm about to big up our wide receivers
all last season. He did not.
I'm about to big up the wide receivers who made the secondary look not too.
How many yards did Gabe Davis have? He had one good game.
He had over 600 yards. He had like 10 touchdowns last year, not including the playoffs. Like he played good.
You literally just said he had over 600 yards. We got to stop that.
Yeah.
Like Gabe Davis has to show us. I'm not saying Gabe Davis is not going to be great. He's still,
season, but he also
so don't say then that's not good. That like
why isn't it good?
He didn't play though, Sam.
In a very limited role. How many targets did he have?
He couldn't get on the field.
But he's on the field now, guaranteed.
Okay, but he's not playing against anybody. That's all I'm saying. We gotta relax now.
Oh my God, Sam. All right. You still got to make the plays.
What I'm saying is,
when you out there on the field, you want to see him making plays. I don't care who you're playing against.
The Detroit Lions is talking about Amon-Ra St. Brown. Like, who cares, y'all? Like, let's see it on the field. That's my point. But let's get. It is not different. Let's get into.
We got Josh Allen, Stephon Diggs. We're a good team, and what he did in the playoffs against. When the last time we seen him? What's the last time we seen what he did? Last time we seen him?
I'm gonna say this. Let's go to the depth chart.
It's a difference.
I'm from Missouri. Oh, if you don't know what that means, you look it up. I'm from Missouri.
You're actually not from Missouri.
All right, I am from Missouri.
You're actually from Buffalo.
So let's
you're actually from Buffalo.
Let's get into the depth chart. So a lot of things going on, a lot of questions out there. The Bills released the depth chart, right? We have something to go by. If you go on our Facebook, Instagram, we're gonna post it out there so you can see it if you haven't seen it already. We definitely tried to get it on the screen. It didn't necessarily look the best, but I just want to throw some things at y'all because there's been a lot of talk about the front seven, right? There's been a lot of talk about the front seven. So let me just go through it. Starting, obviously, Greg Rousseau at the edge. Behind him, Boogie Basham. I don't necessarily need to name. Mike Love and Kingsley Jonathan. On the opposite side, Von Miller, AJ Epineza, Shaq Lawson. So I'm going to ask you, Rad, how do you feel about that? Because we did talk about Shaq Lawson having, you know what I mean? He was having a good camp. He's great at run defense. So how do you feel about the depth chart? And is this any indication of cuts or anything like that? Just quickly,
I think if you a player, if you see that, if you Shaq Lawson, that's it's like okay. I think you need to see what you can do to turn it up to get higher on that depth chart. You don't want to be third and fourth on the depth chart. In a strong position. I know, and the Bills do rotate, but we don't rotate that much where you can be the third or fourth guy at your position. So I think it definitely should open some eyes. It definitely should tell you the pecking order of the team right now. And I know coach speak be like, it's just a depth chart, it don't matter, but
it matters.
If somebody puts something together and your name is not one of the first few names on there, it matters. Period. It matters. So
and just to piggyback on that, like. They do rotate, but we're so good at those positions. I feel like they would sacrifice keeping a couple less just to add some more depth to a room like the corner room where we might have to rotate guys more or guys might not be performing. So that's definitely something to look at.
we know forward, Greg Rousseau, Boogie Basham, AJ Ebenez, and Von Miller will be kept. They're not getting cut. So I mean, the only person is probably Shaq
I don't
Lawson.
know. AJ Ebenez, he could be a cut if guys like
we have to keep
if guys like Boogie
rushers. I mean, you just have to.
Yeah, we got Boogie Basham, Shaq. I mean, we got a group of dudes that can rush. I don't think he's necessarily a lock.
I think we're going to keep 5. A lot of people have been saying we're going to keep 5. That's what my sources say. My sources say we're going to keep 5, and if that's the case, then it's a fact. Shaq Lawson will be on the team, but that's neither here nor or AJ Ebenez, whichever one you think is last. Obviously, AJ Ebenez is before him in the depth chart, so it remains to be seen. But if you're in the comments, you can tell us how you feel about this depth chart. I want to go to the wide receiver room because that's a room of contention. There's some people fighting and vying for some playing time. I know Marcus Stevenson is. I don't know if he practiced. I know he twisted his ankle or something like that. I seen on the report. But Gabe Davis, Isaiah Hodgins, Marquez Stevenson. That's the one side. Stephon Diggs, Jake Kumaro, Tanner Gentry, Neil Paul. That's the other side. In the slot, Isaiah McKenzie, Jamison Crowder, Khalil Shakir, and Tavon Austin. That's stacked. I mean, as far as name recognition, the slot is stacked. So Matt, how you feel about that? I'm sorry, we just got in the comments. Marquez Stevenson is in a boot. He is in a boot. So clearly that's not necessarily good. He might get the boot. Yeah,
he might get the. Well, you know what? A lot of these dudes are also going to be practice squad eligible, right? So you got
But Stevenson was last year, right? I think you only get 1 year, or no?
Nah. You get. I think you get like 4 years. You could definitely be designated to practice squad for a minute. So these guys are all guys who will probably get put on the practice squad, but it's definitely a competitive room.
Yeah.
The real thing is going to be, I know we talked about Jamison Crowder kind of getting back into it. I know he's working into it. That could be a surprise cut if Khalil and Isaiah are just playing at such a high level. That slot position can be taken over just as a roster casualty. You know what I mean?
I don't know. Listen. It's like looking at it because even this practice, if you listen to reports, the practice was kind of closed. Only special people could get in there. So I apologize for all of you. But Isaiah Hodgins was giving it up. He was giving it up, man. He been giving it up. I'm just so Rat. The receiver room is big. Like clearly, we believe Gabe Davis is gonna have a breakout. But I'm seeing in the comments, I'm seeing, you know what I'm saying? Sean is saying that Khalil is gonna be a starter before the year is out.
I like him.
How do y'all feel in the comments and Rad? How do you feel about it? What are you saying?
I like Khalil. I mean, obviously our rookie, but I think this is gonna break down who plays special teams, right? Kumaro is gonna play special teams. You like is what else do you do besides play wide receiver? Obviously, it's gonna help determine who gonna make it, who not.
Yeah,
right? Because you want to play special teams, you want to be gunners, whatever you got to do to be on the field and to potentially help the team. So those players like that is gonna have the edges who can return kicks. I would like a Khalil to return kicks, obviously. So I think it's gonna be tough. I think Jamison Crowder having that injury and the scrimmage he was playing with the 2s and 3s. He was out there with the 3s too. So that's not always the best, but he's got to get back. And I honestly, Khalil, I would just rather have Khalil. He's right now he's better. He's younger, youthful. In that slot, and obviously Isaiah McKenzie, he can play special teams as well. So I think Jamison is probably on the outside looking up, inside looking out, outside looking in.
Listen, the chat getting crazy, man. I'm seeing that they saying McKenzie about to get traded, man. I listen. Isaiah McKenzie has been balling in you know what I'm saying, and really we're about to talk about. Listen, we're about to go into what we want to see. When we play the Colts and obviously the preseason games, following that, because this is a huge preseason for a lot of players, and we're about to get into that. But I with the depth chart, I do want to go to the running back room, and I want to hit the cornerbacks real quickly, y'all. The running back room, they have Singletary starting, Zach Moss, James Cook, Duke Johnson, Tywan Jones, so on and so forth. I wanted to ask Matt, is there a situation where you think that Zach Moss can jump Devin Singletary? Because they're saying that Zach Moss has been running with the ones. Sources say, I've heard that from multiple people, that Zach Moss has been running with the ones. He's been running inspired. That was the word I heard. Obviously, we saw James Cook is electric. He had a great practice day. Is there a situation where those two guys can jump Devin Singletary, or do you believe that Devin Singletary has the number one running back spot for the Buffalo Bills on lock?
I think he's definitely got the number one spot on lock, just from a complete overall standpoint. I think he's our maybe our most dependent. Obviously, James Cook hasn't been out there in real games for us, but he's our most dependable runner, right? At this point, he's our guy that we can give the 10 carries of rushes that we're going to give to a running back, I guess, this year. So yeah, I don't see it, but obviously I haven't been out to any practices, and I haven't really heard too much about him, like in the by the beat reporters or anything like that. So I don't think it's going to be a thing.
Rad, how do you feel about it? Do you think that Singletary can kind of fight them off, or do you think it's just running back by committee?
I think it's committee. And I think James Cook's going to play a lot. I think Zach Moss and Singletary. I think Singletary they might do hot hand again like they did last year. But I think the one who's clearly separated himself in a specific way is catching the ball is Cook. He's the best pass catcher out the backfield, bar none. It's not even so when it's passing situations, third downs, mix it up. James Cook is in the game. Singletary, Zach Moss gonna have to take all those other carries, but he's the clear cut one who's separated himself in a specific area. So he's going to play, and he's going to play a lot, I think.
Interesting, man. That running back room, listen, we're going to talk about it in a second. We're not going to be here necessarily long, but we're going to talk about it in a second when we talk about these preseason games, this kind of preview. But I did want to talk about the cornerbacks because, interestingly enough, they got Trey White, Christian Benford, Jamarcus Ingram. On the other side, Dane Jackson, Kaiir Elam, Tim Harris. And it was interesting. Obviously, we have no idea what's going on with Trey White, if he's going to play week 1 or not. But the fact that they have Dane Jackson starting and Kaiir Elam behind him that's notable. That's not nothing. Like, that's notable. He was a first-round pick. We drafted him to be a great player. And granted, I do believe he has the tools to be great, but he's not necessarily having a good training camp. And that's something to look at. And on the opposite side, Christian Benford has been lights out. A lot of talk has been coming out of camp, and even the scrimmage that Christian Benford is on fire. He even had another great practice today. Sources say, I know a lot of people was asking Sam, who are your sources? I will not reveal my sources, but y'all know I'm plugged in. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Mom Duke. She was in there. If you know the vibes, you know who we rock with at the Bills. But listen, listen, it don't need to be said. But I wanted to ask you, Matt, are you concerned about Kaiir Elam? Is there any concern?
No, I'm not. And I know that when we drafted Christian Benford, they were, a lot of, obviously I didn't watch a lot of UConn football, but, a guy like that, a 4-year player, he produced, he had a ton of interceptions. He's a ball hawk, had a ton of interceptions. He's a taller corner, physical corner. So, those type of dudes in this kind of defense, they tend to flourish. So I'm not, that it doesn't surprise me at all. And, Kaiir is going to be out there. He's going to play.
He's definitely gonna play. Listen, y'all. We're excited, man. I don't want to go crazy, but preseason is coming up. We got the Colts at 4:00 here, Highmark Stadium. So please get your Overdue Bills merch. Shout out OverdueBillsPod.com. Shout out Buffalo fan base, and y'all know the vibes. We always end every show with a little bit of that. Hey, 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 hey,
hey.
Peace.
All right, y'all.